It is a world of darkness, and the warriors of Gaia fight over the fate of the world against their enemy, the cosmic force of entropy and corruption, the Wyrm. Unbeknownst to mankind, they wage a war against the coming apocalypse, with new cubs taking up the cause to fight with fang, clave, and gun and claw. They give the Wyrm no quarter. They give it only rage.
Bill adjusting in his seat as Darren takes a place by his pack. He seems to admire the young boy for a moment before clearing his voice. He tells a story in exchange. It is not as long as that of Uli Brightjaws, but that might be for how old it is. Much of it is lost to time. Composing himself for a moment, he rests his fingers interlaced over his chest before beginning. Many, many years ago, before the white man came to this part of the world, there was a great tribe of windwalkers who dominated the land and ran it like an ice-ridden empire. The mightiest among these was a shaman called She Cries Ice, who fought a terrible spirit. Terrible, evil spirit. This evil spirit was called the Narthus, and could not be bound into anything of this world. But She Cries Ice whispered to the sky and called down a stone from another world. The great shaman bound the Narthus into the sky stone, and it struck the mountain with great force, thus burying Narthus completely. Legend says that the mountain lies but north of here, and that one day the Narthus will rise again to defeat the children of She Cries Ice.
I look in recognition to Tara.
Yeah, Tara's kind of like looking between everyone else in the pack. Like,
Darren just looks really appreciative of the cool story.
Holding up his hand, Bill motions for silence as he considers for a moment. And then reclines back into his seat, eyeing Darren for another instant before allowing you to continue. Effectively, what you do now is up to you. You can stay with Bill even until the blizzard ends. Not sure when that will be. Or you can head back out to the cold.
Looking towards Bill, Snarls would ask again. So would it be possible for you to teach me the healing gift?
He shakes his head. That is not my place. You will learn that in time.
Snarls would nod understandably.
our character, around what time do we need to meet with the vampires?
Not too long from now.
Hmm.
Did anyone recognize that howl from the pack of wolves earlier?
Out of character, did we?
I mean, you heard it.
But as in, like, do we know if it's from the Black Spirals or just regular wolves? Or is it the vampire wolves?
Impossible to tell, but there are plenty of options.
Tara gives a shrug. She then looks to Bill and says, We will need to be going soon. Will we see you again?
He shakes his head. No. You will not.
Darren stands and walks over to him. Holds out his
So he
hand.
puts a hand on Darren's forearm.
I'm glad to have met you.
Come with me. Come with me.
Darren
He
nods.
stands, pulls you to follow, taking you into the study where he grabs a large old horn. Not just the horn of a beast, but the kind of horn you blow for battles. And he holds it out to you. I want you to take this with you. However, only blow it in a time of immense trouble. The horn is brittle and old. May break next it sounds. I've tried to use it in the past year, but have been unable to make it work. I feel the power has gone out of it, or it's waning from it. He puts the horn in your hand, and notably against your chest where the scar is. I cannot use this horn because I have no great need of it.
Darren, having looked from the horn and up into Bill's eyes, looks with meaning in his face. Thank you.
He puts a finger against that skull. Remember your story. And he pats the side of your head, comforting you. You should join your friend. Make sure to take some food before you go.
Darren can't help his face but break out into a smile. Thank you. And he kind of lifts the horn a bit. Thank you.
Bill lets you go. He doesn't say anything. He just motions you with a slight push to go rejoin your pack. He seems to stay in his office for a moment, thinking.
Darren rejoins the pack at the hearth. Holding the horn by his side, not intentionally drawing much attention to it. I take a shirt that I was probably given to wear, and fashion it into a carry sack for the horn.
So, I look to Darren. How'd it go?
Bill Son of Bear is a great host. He's letting us take some food with us for the road.
I look to where you came from and say, doesn't feel. I'm actually gonna miss the guy.
Don't miss him too bad. If he wanted to come with us, he would. Don't carry him in your heart.
Just Tara saying, alright everyone, let's pack what we can and get moving.
Sounds like an idea.
He's going to gather a decent amount of food, eating a little bit as he's packing because he realizes he is hungry because he hasn't eaten in a long time.
D, sit down neat. We'll pack around you.
It's all good.
No. I won't have you hungry on the walk. It's cold.
Nah, I got this. Don't you worry. I'm gonna be eating while I pack up. Quicker that way.
Is D near a bench or a seat? Well, near the bench by the food.
D is standing on the on the corner of the table as he's gathering some of the food up.
Darren would pull a chair behind him and just, pull his shoulder down so he sits into it. Eat. And he begins... Then he begins packing food around him. Who's keeping the disc on them?
I have it.
Cool.
You know, I've been thinking. Sometimes.
Yeah.
You remember how we encountered, or at least Snarls, noticed that there were Wendigo in the town?
Hmm.
Perhaps that'd be the best place to deliver the disc to them.
Tara shakes her head. It would be dangerous. Last the others saw, we were driving that truck towards the town. And as far as the Wendigos are concerned, they wouldn't like us being that near to their kin.
At the same time, though, we can go to the cairn. What else could we do?
Darren hefts the hilt of the clave that he ripped off.
He's gonna stop eating for a second. I want to get to the town. I saw my stepdad, which means if he's here, then my family might be close.
You saw your dad?
Stepdad. It ain't like that. I'm not too concerned about him, but he was working for the Wyrm. The mine. He don't usually do that shit, which means he probably got a pretty good deal. She got me bugging, man. Because if he's here, then that means my family probably close by. And if they close by, then they in danger.
Wait, does your dad know about the stepdad know about all that?
No, not that I'm aware.
Then it could just be another
But I need to get
job.
my family out.
Agreed.
No, you know what? Now that I'm thinking, if he probably up here, they'd probably be in Toronto. Oh nah.
What's wrong with Toronto? Besides it, being Toronto.
I get bad vibes from that place, man. Something ain't right about it. And all over the states. I've been to Detroit. Seen Toronto just across the way. There's something messed up with it. There's something messed up with Detroit. There's something messed up with it all.
It might just be your blood.
I looked to D and muttered, it's probably all the blood. It's probably all the leeches there.
Of course, they're fucking leeches there.
There are leeches in almost every city.
Do you know how many?
I give a shrug and say, no, all we know is their territory. Or rough outlines. They've been around longer than, well, as long as humans have.
D, I'm sorry, but, well, with the cities come glasswalkers and the bone gnawers. So I think we can go there last, go home after.
We gotta get my stepdad out. He's one of the only people that can make money for the group. My siblings are too young for that shit.
We'll be coming back home anyway, right? After the day's work?
I don't know, man. You saw what they was doing over there. He was worked to the bone, man.
Yeah.
It ain't right. They probably gonna kill him if we don't get in there soon. Wish I did something, but I was focusing on the mission.
As you should have. I get it, but... Maybe we can convince the Wendigo to help us. Convince them... Well... Have them see the truth. With this... Darren hefts the hilt of the clave. They can sense the Wyrm on this. They have to.
We can't go anywhere near the Wendigo, or their care, nor their kin. And I don't know if your dad will be going home after the day's work, after all the carnage that we created back at the mine.
No, I saw them walking him off to the mine. He might be okay. It means there might be still a chance. I'll be damned if my family don't get a chance.
Darren looks and gives a knowing nod.
Tara crosses her arms, almost looking down as she says, "There's almost nothing as important as family."
There is nothing as important as family.
I look to Darren and I say, the sect. That's more important.
The sept is your family.
Yeah, some of us still have family outside it.
Darren just sighs through his nose and keeps packing up stuff. Mostly food.
There's gotta be a way we can get the info to them. There's gotta be.
You can leave a care package, leave a bag, and call them, and leave the area. I mean...
You think we might be able to ask a spirit to get a message to them?
Might
Snarls?
Be shot.
Snarls, what do you think?
It's certainly an option. Don't know what else we can really do other than that. Snarls would continue saying, however, though, if we are going to do that, we need to be careful what spirit we get as our messenger. Some like to play tricks on you, mess with you. So we need to be very selective.
I look to him and say, what about that tree, you know? Surely the forests have a close relationship with the Wendigo.
I mean, it's possible that trees don't really... Trees like to just protect their area, teach people who will help protect it too, but other than that, I think we need to find some spirit connected to them. Some spirit that would want to help them as well as help us. I'm not sure if a tree would be the right one.
Before we were thinking about maybe going to help the pups that died in the cave. But things are going to be a lot more dangerous now with what's hunting us, with the stunt that we pulled at the mine. It's going to be a lot more difficult to find a place to sleep and rest and then move about in the day.
What if we find those wolves? If they are just wolves.
Wait, not in character. Which ones are you referring to?
The ones we heard howl.
First, we need to go meet with
Them.
that other pack, like we said we would.
Yeah. We stopping by our shelter first, or going straight to them?
Tara kind of, she looks like she's about to speak, but then she pauses and kind of scratches her head and then says, we might want to ask Bill where we are.
Go on, Miss Galliard.
I go off to try and find him.
You find him in the doorway,
Oh, fuck.
giving you your privacy.
Sorry, what was that? I dropped my phone.
He was in the doorway, just kind of giving you your privacy.
Cool.
But the moment he heard his name, naturally he paid a bit more attention. And is now just in the doorway, letting you say whatever it is you need to say.
Yeah, she just kind of goes up towards him saying, hey, you mind telling us where we are?
General grid location.
You're about 2.5 miles northwest of the Winter Wolf Settlements.
Northwest?
He nods.
Darren looks to Snarls.
She looks back towards the pack and says, there won't be time to go back to our shelter. It's far too out of the way.
Yeah, there goes my clothes.
Good thing you got new ones.
Yep. Oh, that poor deer. I mean, that poor moose. I look to Snarls and say, so, how do you feel about interviewing some spirit?
Did you just say interviewing spirit?
You know what I mean. We need to find one that's going to be receptive to helping us and the Wendigo.
Bill puts his hand out to rest on Tara's shoulder. If there's somewhere you need to go, I can give you directions. I'm well acquainted with these woods.
Is there anything that you know about the Wendigo pups that died west of here in a cave?
His eyes fall. It's not hard to see why it is. He's a bit bummed out about it, but He does say that Wendigo rites are harsh and held in dead of winter. They are pups that died during their rites. And Wendigo has not come to claim their spirits.
Hmm.
Many pups have undergone their rites of passage in this wilderness.
She kind of lowers her head.
I look to Bill and ask, do you particularly know any spirits that are friendly towards the Wendigo?
Wendigo. But other than that, it would come down to each pack.
With these tormented Wendigo pups at the cave, is there any way that we can help them become released again?
The spirits of these Wendigo pups are bitter, hateful, vengeful. They might attack any garou or journey through the woods. They will do so slowly, causing fear, doubt, whispering winds, strange scents, even stealing, moving those things to other peoples. They will pick on the metis and the ragabash. The only way to banish them would be either to defeat them in the Umbra, or alternatively, perhaps a theurge may convince them that one of their own tribal theurges could aid them in their final journeys.
Tar looks to the others and says, we will go out. We'll go to the meeting like we said we would. But what we need to do, the most pressing thing, is either deal with or evade as best we can what is hunting us.
I know what I'd rather do.
She smiles in agreement. But that's only a decision that we can make properly once we know exactly what all of the things at play are. So I say we go out and find out.
I would like to put it on record that I think this is a bad idea.
Care to say why?
If we find out what is chasing us and something we can't handle, it might be too late to run.
Run?
I look to Darren and I say, or fight it if there's no glory in dying and then letting the sept, the Wendigos, get killed along with us. Or shortly along with us.
Then we make peace with them first. Put their pups at ease. Or souls, at least. Make things right between our septs first.
Things will only be made right between our septs once we get them that disc.
So that's our priority.
Yeah. We need to tell them the truth of what happened.
And I think we have enough to do that. We just need to do it right.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I don't like just standing around talking about it.
No. Everyone packed? D, have you eaten?
Yeah.
Darren nods.
Then let's go.
The
Back up.
spouse.
She
And-
takes one look to Belle, gives a nod of the head, and says thank you.
As everyone's making ready, Darren walks over to Bill. Thank you for hosting us. And, that wax? He says with a wry grin.
You see him produce it from underneath his arm where he was holding a small bit of wax tucked away, wrapped in a strip of old hide.
Darren grins. Thank you. We'll be off then.
Farewell, pups. And remember, you never met the son of the Petals.
Darren gives a solemn nod. And turns and ushers everyone out.
No sooner do you leave the cabin of Bill, son of the bear, and begin to trudge in the direction. Well, you hope you're going the right way. You have a vague idea of where you're going, knowing that you need to go about a mile east. If you were to turn back looking for any sign of the cabin, it is gone, lost. Not just due to the blizzard, but it's as though it never existed. A mirage within the snow. And so you are forced to trudge on. Those of you in bipedal forms are going to hate this, which is pretty much all of you. Lupin is the only one that's moving somewhat easily and not freezing his tail off.
You see
Time
Dave.
to go into Lupus.
You see Dave taking off his clothes.
D's gonna, take off his clothes, shift into Hispo, and then carry them on his back.
As we are changing, Tara will say to Snarls, every so often, see if you can sense any creatures of the Wyrm. I want to know if any of the Banes are following us.
Snarls would first peer into the Umbra to see if there are any spirits following them.
Go ahead and roll your gnosis. Peering into the Umbra, you do catch the scent of a spirit, though it is not following you. Rather, in the distance, you see the form of a large bear spirit watching.